Blessings, everyone. Today, I would like to offer an oracle reading from the Angels and Ancestors Oracle. This is a beautiful deck by Kyle Gray. Because the fall equinox has brought in so much energy of release and letting go, this is a sacred time when many of our ancestors and the angels come through to help us to step into that space that reflects nature in a way of what no longer serves us. And we do this in a space of trust because we recognize, like the trees, we're grounded in who we are, like the trees are grounded in this earth. Yet, where our leaves are released is reaching for the sky, which is representative of the higher realms. And many believe that the tree without the leaves represents the lungs, which is a reminder of the breath of life. And we can't hold our breath. That doesn't serve. When we're doing breath work, we're recognizing how the life force flows through us. And so with that, the angels and the ancestors come to show us, as the change of the seasons, all of the things that we can learn. There are many places in our world that do not experience the change of the seasons, but still they celebrate an equinox in a different way. And many have different celebrations from different cultures all over the world. And if we sit for a moment with our elders and reflect on what our ancestors told us, we could learn so much from the change of our lands and our seasons. We can live in harmony. So first, I would like to say thank you to Source for allowing me to be a medium of light. And I ask all the ancestors and all of the angels to please step forward and help bring a bit of wisdom for the highest good. Thank you, I'm grateful. And with this one, I shuffle 3 times, as always. The first one moves the energy of Source. The second one moves the energy of Spirit, higher self. And the third is the soul, which is the beautiful expression of the story that we tell here. And it's interesting, before I started the reading, some of my ancestors were coming through and kind of nudging me to do the singing bowls, but also the drumming. That is something that's been in my ancestors from the Irish side, from the native side, as far back as any of us could remember. And it's a beautiful moment to connect with the ancestors and listen to these things, because they're just reminding me that the drum, we are the drum of the earth. As we have a living heartbeat, we are creating this rhythm of life. And through the changes of the season, we learn how we navigate. So with that, I just kind of move the cards around. And I'm hoping that they'll just kind of say which one to take. Sometimes it moves. Sometimes they say take that one when it rises up out of the deck. It's always different. So right now they're saying this is the one they want me to focus on. Eagle. See from a higher perspective. And the eagle represents, in many, many different cultures for our elders, a very sacred bird. When there's eagles from all over the world, no matter what part of the world that we live in, even though this is eagle medicine, we still have birds of prey that kind of embody this energy. And as the ancestors step forward and they say, what does the eagle represent? In my awareness and my culture, it represents spirit. It is the winged one that is able to go between worlds and bring messages to spirit. It is the navigator. And the eagle feathers in my culture are very sacred. In the country that I live in, it is a national symbol. But they're asking, what is the purpose of the higher perspective? Sometimes in our humanness, we get that convoluted. The higher perspective doesn't mean being right. And the higher perspective doesn't always mean having an answer. The ancestors are saying the higher perspective means understanding the greatest outcome for the best in all of the situation. Sometimes taking the higher perspective means seeing things with clarity in the middle of the storm. They're reminding me that eagles fly above the storm. They're not afraid of that. They understand that their vision is very fine-tuned, and they have the ability to see specific things that they want to see on the ground if they're hunting a mouse or a fish from very high up. They're looking for movement. They're looking for many details from a place that is very far away. And so if we take eagle medicine, the ancestors are saying, and apply that in our world, it means that sometimes we're going to step far away because we have to remove ourselves emotionally from a situation. If we're right on top of it, the old saying is, sometimes when we're on top of it, we're not going to see it clearly. How can we? Sometimes the details reveal themselves like a fine painting as we step back. And the eagle understands because it trusts what it's seeing. Now, if we're right on top of what we're doing, we're not going to see a little bit ahead of the road where, yes, we may be making that choice. But in a few days from now, is it still going to stand true? Is it going to be something that's going to be valuable for us? Is it going to be something that we've done in a space of clarity? When the eagle is hunting, they're showing me an eagle hunting. When the eagle is hunting this mouse, it's far above the trees. It could see all the roadblocks. It could see where the mouse can run and hide. It could see where the thick brush is that maybe it's going to run into and it won't be able to get it. So it waits. It waits for the clearing. It waits for the precise moment because it could see from a distance. Maybe it's not seeing the face of the mouse. Maybe it's not seeing the tail of the mouse. But it can see the movement and it can see where the mouse is headed. And that is what's important about taking the view of the hawk or the eagle, is that we're not worried about the quick gratification of getting the answer in the moment. We don't want to be on top of something if we're in an emotional state. The ancestors are saying, step back. Clarity isn't always seeing every hair on the mouse. Sometimes clarity is seeing the rocks and the trees in the way of the prey. So what we're searching for, what we're seeking, what we're trying to achieve, it may not be something clear to us if we're hyper-focused on the details. Sometimes the details are imperative because we have to get them right. But sometimes when making a decision, the important thing isn't about the details, but about the timing. Or maybe it's about allowing ourselves that emotional space, taking a higher perspective and seeing it clearly. How is this going to feel if we make this decision in our future life? So the eagle isn't just hunting because it has a fine-tuned eye. to see its prey. No, the eagle is hunting to see the situation, to see the bigger perspective. It knows what the prey is. And our ancestors are saying, we know what we came here to do. We know what we want to accomplish. We understand that. But we're always asking the how, the when, the where. And sometimes these questions that we asphyxiate on distort the higher perspective. It's bringing us out of the higher view. It's taking the clarity away. Because sometimes the details can be the distractions, when really we have to decide what it is that we're focusing on, and then allow ourselves that space. Allow ourselves the time to breathe, and allow ourselves to see how our choices will work with us, through us, rather than just for us. Because as we understand, they're showing me the eye, that sometimes the choice in the moment, that instant gratification of being right on top of the answer, well, we miss a lot of the view as well. We miss a lot of the journey when we're right on top of it. When we step back after we've created something and have a look at it, I mean, anybody who's been to an art gallery knows that we're encouraged to step back from a painting. We're not stepping forward and looking at the brush strokes of everything. I mean, maybe if we're an artist and we're interested in how something was made, but if we want to see the art, not the technique, we move back. Because not everyone is fine-tuned for the technique. Not everyone understands the technique. But most will appreciate the art for what it is. And this is what Eagle Spirit teaches us. This is what Eagle shows us. That when we're stepping back and we're seeing the higher perspective, we may not get the details we're asking for. We may not know when. And we may not know how. But as long as we understand why we've started something, why we're looking for something in the first place, that's when we have to trust that it's been called into our space, and we will figure it out. We will understand once we step away a little bit and give the idea room to breathe, or give the intention a moment to grow. We don't want to cut our noses off to spite our face. So this is when we use our wings. So the ancestors are pulling their energy back. They're saying that many of us know this. And this may just be a validation. If anyone has been going through something right now where they're not sure how they're going to figure something out. Maybe we've got a big decision to make. And in this time, when the seasons change and it makes us reflect, wherever you are in the world, look to see, what does this new season change bring? And how can I find my solution by stepping back a little bit from it and understanding how it affects the whole, as we're all intertwined. The choices we make affects all of those in our life, not just ourselves. We want our best interests, but we also want to flow. And so with that, thank you for allowing me to bring this message. Many beautiful blessings, everyone.